Hey guys, what's up? I had seen a comment on my last video. I'll post a little screenshot of who it was. Sorry if I don't remember your name, but I'll post it up there. Shout out real quick. This person told me that they wanted to see some of the jerseys that I've had over the last few, years, I guess, or weeks or months or whatever. The Thailand quality jerseys that I've gotten. And that's a pretty good idea. I mean, I've had a few jerseys from teams that I've been in before. I've had some jerseys that I've gotten for myself just to mess around with, just like the ones that I did in a couple of videos ago. So I am going to show some Thailand jerseys that I've had over the years, and just show you the quality and how it is that they've held up, which is pretty bad. They've, like I mentioned before, they just fall apart and everything just never lasts as it should. So this frame that I set up a little bit is just so that I can show a little bit of what it is that we're talking about. But just to get right to it, this is something that I had gone for a team that we ended up never got. So this was back in I don't remember, 2016, I think, 16 or 17, around that time. I'll have to look up more info on these kits, but this was for my brother. We were supposed to be in the same team, but as you can see, this one was barely even used. We only used it to like mess around, kick a ball and stuff like that. And every few washes or so, every few dry, times that we had to dry it out with a machine, the number fell off. So this used to be a 7, I think. 21, I'm sorry. This was a 21. As you can see, it had Dortmund down here, and that just completely fell off. The number fell off, it peeled off. And the way that these start peeling off is that kind of like they get like air bubbles. Once they get air bubbles, you're kind of screwed, because that means that it's already stuck. I'm sorry, that whatever was keeping it together is no longer there. The name, however, has held up pretty nicely, and that's actually really tough. It's really hard, really thick, and it doesn't seem to be, that easy to come off. So that's pretty cool, but the number was just like plastic and it just fell off. The sponsor here in the front is already cracked. Again, this is like 2 years, and this is not consistent use. This is just a few times that it was used and just washed and dried. So this is pretty much going to fall off if it goes through another cycle. So you can see some cracks there, pretty beat up. The stitching on this, was just like everything we've seen before. Same thing on the crest. The sizing is usually one of the first things that fall off on these. This one kind of held up, but still it's falling off. The BBB back here is actually also like screen printed material. That one's held up, but in general, the numbers, like I said, usually always fall off. This one didn't hold up. The name was pretty sturdy. It had a authentic seal logo type thing going on here, you can see, and that one's actually stayed. But this was like about 2.5 years old, 3 maybe, I don't remember, but this is what we're looking at. Borussia Dortmund kit home. That's one thing we got. I remember also about 3 years ago I got the Arsenal home jersey. This one, again, also the sponsor in the front peeled off. I avoid using this. I avoided washing it, but it just couldn't. It just wasn't able to win the fight. Sizing, peeled off. Same thing. I didn't get any number on this because I knew that it would just peel off. So nothing on there. However, there's this little logo. That one is kind of peeling, but it's still there. Keep in mind that I haven't used these for like a year or 2 maybe since I ever bought them. I get them, I use them like 3 or 4 times, maybe a month or 2, to be honest, and then just 3 washes, 3 dries, and that's it. This is by machine, by the way, so this is why these have kind of held up a little bit. But the logo on this one, the crest, is screen printed metallic. This one's actually one of the nicest ones I've seen. This is not stitched on like the other ones have been, like the Puma logo. That's stitched on, but not the crest. That was pretty cool when I got it. It was reflective, had like glitter in it. It was pretty dope, but Flymarines is just gonna come off. Right there, you see this little piece already. Not focusing. It's already come off, so this can just come off altogether. That's the Arsenal home jersey. Back in the day, one of the first kits that I ever got for a soccer team in Thailand quality was a Barcelona kit. That was like 2014, I think, or 2015, 2013, 14, I think, and it was this one right here. When I first opened this thing, I was like, dude, this has got to be real. This has got to be legit. I looked up a bunch of information about these things, and I realized how it is that they're made, how it is that they get all this stuff together, and, well, they're not real. I mean, they're just, again, like I said, Thailand quality. So, stitched crest, stitched Nike swoosh. Qatar Airways is falling off on this one. This one was my brother's as well. This one was a 7. His name held up a little bit just because he didn't play as much. So, you know, again, this was about maybe 6 months of use, a couple of washes, couple of dries. This one held up kind of well for what it is that it was put through, but still, it just came all completely off. A legit jersey will not do this. You know, you get what you pay for, so whatever. LFP logo. This was one of the first ones that I saw that had like a Stitch League logo. Which was pretty dope at the time, of course. The sizing, just gone. Again, like I said, first thing that you usually lose is the sizing printing. This one had the Masculine Club, slogan inside. That was like a what you call it, a woven label type thing. This one again, UNICEF at the bottom was also a screen printed material, just peeling off. Everything else was stitched in. Authentic Seal which was another woven label right there. So again, 2013, 2014 kit. This is what it looks like after maybe 6 months of use. A couple of washes and dries, maybe I don't know, 6 or 7 or 8 washes and dries. Keep in mind these we only use this when we only put these through the machine and dryer after soccer games. So we rarely ever use them just regularly. So we would just play and then wash them and then get rid of them or whatever. So my brother didn't play as much, but he did have his own. Mine, on the other hand, is just gone. Everything I've printed is basically gone. I even took off the Qatar Airways on this because I thought it would probably look better without it being, just peeling off and looking horrible. My name is gone. I used to be 24. It just fell off. UNICEF is still kind of there, but everything else is gone. Name just looks like it faded away in bits and pieces. So you can tell who used this jersey more, who played more, who thought, I thought they were going to last a lot longer. This was my first Thailand jersey. So just for the record, first Thailand jersey, completely just peeled off. This was my first hard experience with a Thailand kit. After learning that, the same team switched over to the Atletico Madrid kit, and I actually got two jerseys for that. One which was the short sleeve variation of this. So this one was beautiful. I actually loved this kit for a long time. This was actually one of my favorite ones that we ever got. Once the ones that have even come out, even at the club and just in general, man, just like a European team. This variation of the club in kits was just beautiful. I was always super careful of not putting this in the dryer because I learned about the last kit. So this one held up a little bit with the sponsor in the front, but it's already gonna come off. I mean, there's like, if I peel this, it's just coming off. I just have this as a memory. It's not really something that I play with anymore. You can actually tell here, there's it's just a bubble. It's kind of like rubber, and it's already, that's it. This is gone. One more wash, one more dry, it's just gone. My number switched to from a 24 to a 4. My name kind of stayed a little bit. The 4 just started peeling off, just like the front. This one was supposed to be kind of like a player version kit because it had the holes on it. This season or this year's Nike player version kits had a little rubber seal that connected the jersey sleeves and the torso to it, but I guess they couldn't perfect them that well back in the day. Surprisingly, the sizing chart is still there. That was actually pretty strong to stay, and it's held up. It had a team logo up here, like a little triangle. There's like a little shadow in there. I don't know if you can see, but that's gone. Again, this one was actually really comfortable. This one was, you know, a thick jersey. Just material was freaking dope. But this is one that I had. Real quick, jumping over to the next one that I bought. I went on my own and then just went for a long sleeve variation of this. And I used this even more. This one somehow lasted a little longer because it looks like it was like a different maker, like a different manufacturer, and some of the measurements were kind of off. The sleeves were kind of crappy, but the logo and the sponsor had the same, kind of like a similar issue. Same material, rubbery, elasticating, I don't know, a stamp on here. The stitching on the crest and Nike swoosh were basically the same on both jerseys, just so you can see here. Sizing on this one was a little different. So usually on kits that are legit, the inside of the jersey stays the same. You know, they have this, and then all they do is make it long sleeve. This one, if you can tell, this is how I was able to distinguish that there were different manufacturers that made this out there. Look how detailed and how carefully measured this is, or whatever you want to call it. The thread inside, white, and then thick white, perfectly rounded stitch here. Just compare that, just keep an image on that. And then just look at this. This one was more like poorly made. There's no circular stitch around this. The sizing chart is all the way down here. Like if you can tell, you have to dig all the way down here to get it. And this one was just spot on. This one was one of my favorites, fakes, I guess you can say, because this one was made almost perfectly to what the legit Nike manufacturer was doing. But this one just kind of threw me off. It's, you know, you could tell on the inside. However, wearing it, you couldn't really tell. It was pretty dope. The back, same issue. However, this one lasted a little longer somehow. The number was a little thicker, but still cracked already. I stopped using this. I'm gonna fix the mic. I stopped using this so it would last a little longer. So the team disbanded. Nobody was playing there anymore. Nobody kept playing, and that's what happened. I remember making up my own indoor team, and we decided to go for the Manchester United away kit. One of the cleanest ones that they've had, I believe. We were looking for the one before that, which was a black one. They didn't have it. You know, there was a black one that had like a charcoal black and a black half and half, and then everything else was gold. They didn't have that no more, so we just ended up going for the blue, which was also pretty sick. This one didn't have any any leak patches or anything like that. I didn't really mind, but I tried to take care of this as much as I possibly could. Here I have the Etihad Airways sponsor. It also cracked. No matter how careful I was, sometimes for whatever reason I would forget that this was in the dirty laundry and put it in the dryer, and then eventually it would crack. Also, again, I was like 15, 16 years old maybe when I got this, and my mom would just throw it in the dryer too, and you know, we just had that issue. But the back held up kind of neatly. Again, this was my main concern overall. My last name here is already Peel. The number did a really good job in holding up. It's still cracked. There is bubbles. It can come off anytime, but it's held up pretty nicely. City right here, stamped also, kind of surprisingly, is still there. Sizing chart, just gone, not there. And if I'm not wrong, this was the same season of jerseys as this one, because they have the same format. No, not that one. Where is it? Right here. Yeah, they had a similar format for their kits. This kind of even looks like what they're doing now. Let me see. You know, with the retros that they're going to, with that collar, that's crazy. Anyway, yeah, basically I just wanted to go over some of the things that I've had over the years. Most of these I don't even wear anymore. Actually, I don't wear any of these at all. They just don't look nice at all to play in. You know, just presentable maybe at the first I don't know what, 5 months if you're really careful with them. After a year, they're basically just unusable. It doesn't matter how really careful you are. They don't hold up very well. I do have a PSG kit, which is a black Jordan one that we're using on the team currently. That one's held up perfectly. I haven't even washed it, I guess. I've washed it by hand, but I haven't dried it in the machine at all, but that one's still perfect. A few other things, I think there's other videos of what I've gotten. We can look through those on the channel, but I do have the shorts for the PSG kit, just so you have an idea. So I think we've had this for about a year now, maybe a little less than a year, maybe 9 months or 10, really close to a year. Been really careful with this. The number on these shorts are cracking. It doesn't look like this on the jersey, but they're kind of holding up a little bit more. I have noticed. Thailand jerseys are kind of, making a balance and trying to get it cheap as much as they possibly can and trying to get a good quality, I guess, but it's not the best. I mean, if you want it to last, if you want it to be a collectible or whatever, just go for the legit thing, honestly. But for a cheap price, just get your Thailand jerseys. Be super careful with them. Just like I did with the Arsenal one-player version with Lacazette, I just hung it up because it started cracking at the first wash. I didn't even dry it. I just washed it, and the crest just started cracking and stuff, the back as well. So I don't want to show it. It's just, pretty basic. But quick video. Again, just wanted to show you guys what it is that I have had for Thailand jerseys. And quick shout-out to the comment that was left behind because it was a pretty good idea for a video. So any suggestions, of course, leave a comment. If you want me to cover something of Thailand quality soccer stuff, there's some cleats out there that I've seen. They're kind of expensive, so I mean, if you ever want to support or whatever, you can hit me up on Instagram. We're there. We have a Facebook page, but we're more active on Instagram. So any suggestions for a video, just go ahead and leave a comment. If you have any questions, I actually try to answer as many as I can. And well, it looks like we passed 100 subscribers with just posting a bunch of dumb stuff, so that's good, I guess. So thank you for watching. This is just a quick video, and you guys have a good weekend.